Hi, everybody. As you all know, I'm Carol Farkas, director of the Upstart Crows. And welcome to the first of hopefully 6, weather and pandemic permitting, performances of Macbeth. I just want to thank you so much for coming out and supporting this socially distanced outdoors theater event. We appreciate you complying with all the safety measures to keep us all safe. These are tough times for us. Our programming was seriously disrupted. And please keep your masks on, keep at least 6 feet apart, make use of the hand sanitizer. We've got hand sanitizer stations everywhere. We have a 10-minute intermission. So during that 10-minute intermission, we have no concessions to sell you. We do have a few t-shirts that were distanced and picked up with gloves, so they're basically untouched by human hands. If you would like to buy them, they're $20. They're really good looking, I have to say. So now my list of thanks. Thanks to Gail Mariner and the Unitarian Universalist congregation for making this possible, giving us a rehearsal space, a performance space, and just supporting us as we've gone through all this. We really couldn't be here without their support. Thanks to the Mariner family for their support with props and just all the technical stuff. They were stringing lights earlier. Zoe Mariner is our costumes apprentice. Itai Rosen is our props apprentice. Claire Lighton and Abby McGahee for costume support. To the Sheffers for photography. Clara West for the poster design. What you see there on your program was drawn and created by Clara West, who is playing Malcolm tonight. A very talented young woman. To John Tollett, who did design work for us, Robin Williams for 24/7 dramaturgy and her unfailing support of the company. So this play is directed by Liam Mitchell, and it's the Crow's first ever Blackfriars production. Blackfriars, we take the name from a theater in London in the year 1600. They started running Shakespeare and other playwrights' plays there performed by children. And Shakespeare complains about them in Hamlet. He calls them the little eyases, and he asks the players in Hamlet, are they still performing? Yes. So Blackfriars is a program for us that gives members of the company who have performed with us and assistant directed with us, who have long experience and apparent devotion to the hard work of theater arts and to the Crows, and all that we do, and who have demonstrated a deep understanding of Shakespeare and who are graduating seniors. We let them choose a play and take full responsibility for every aspect of the production. So as you can tell, the bar is really high for Blackfriars, and Liam has cleared it, way cleared it. He's our first Blackfriar director, and we could not be more proud and impressed by what he has done here amid just the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. So I'm going to bring Liam on now, and he'll have a few words for you, and then we'll start the play.
I mean, to be frank, it's somewhat surreal to be here today, finally presenting my passion project really with each and every one of you, and the work of some of the finest young minds I've ever seen. When we started this more than 6 months ago, and started working with the text and how we were going to figure this out, it was a lot different than what you're going to see today. It's gone through many forms, but I think nevertheless, I think we've all had such dedication to this, and I'm so incredibly happy to be here today. Okay. If you like what you see today, please feel free to share us on social media. This production will be going up later on YouTube, and so Crows, like many other theater organizations, is somewhat struggling during this pandemic. So if you or any of your friends like what you see today, share us, or if you or any of your friends has any spare cash, change, that's always appreciated. The Swan and other organizations that we are close with would also appreciate it. So thank you so much for coming today. Okay. And then, without further ado, I will let my actors do their work and bring you to the world of Shakespeare's Macbeth.
When shall we three meet again, in thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won,
that will be ere the set of sun.
Where the place?
upon the heath,
There to meet with Macbeth.
I come, Grimalkin.
Haddock calls,
Anon.
fair is foul and foul is fair, hover through the fog and filthy air.
Report as seen by his flight of the revolts, the newest state.
This is the sergeant, who like a good and hearty soldier fought against my captivity. Hail, brave friend! Say to the king the knowledge of the broil, and silence leave it.
Doubtful it stood, as two spent swimmers that do cling together and choke their art. The merciless MacDonald, worthy to be a rebel, for to that the multiplying villainies of nature do swarm upon him. From the western isles of kerns and gallowglasses is supplied, and fortune on his damned quarry smiling, showed like a rebel's whore. But all's too weak for brave Macbeth. Well, he deserves that name. Disdained fortune with his brandished steel, and smoked with bloody execution, like valor's minion carved out his passage, till he faced the slave, which ne'er shook hands nor bade farewell to him, till he unseamed him from the nave to the chop, and fixed his head upon our battlements.
Valiant cousin, worthy gentlemen.
As whence the sun gainst its reflection, shipwrecking storms and direful thunders, so from that spring, whence comfort seemed to come, discomfort swells. Mark, King of Scotland, mark, no sooner justice had than valor armed, compelled these skimping kerns to thrust their heels. But the Norwegian lord, surveying vantage, with furbished arms and new supplies of men, began a fresh assault.
Dismayed not this our captains Macbeth and Banquo.
Yes, as sparrows, eagles,
Aye,
or the hare, the lion. If I say sooth, I must report they were as cannons overcharged with double cracks, so they doubly redoubled strokes upon the foe. Except they meant to bathe in reeking wounds, or memorize another Golgotha. I can't tell, but I am faint. My gasters cry for help.
So well thy words become thee as thy wounds, they smack of honor both. Go get him, surgeons! Who comes here?
The worthy Thane of Ross.
What a haste looks through his eyes, so should he look to seem to speak things strange.
Thou save the king.
Whence camest thou, worthy Thane?
From fight, great king. With an Norwegian banner spot the sky and fan our people's clothes. Norway himself, with terrible numbers, assisted by that most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor, began a dismal conflict. But the learned bridegroom laughed and proved confronted him with self-comparisons. Point against point, rebellious, arm against arm, curbing his lavish spirit. And to conclude, the victory fell on us.
Great happiness!
That next swing note, than always King Clay's composition. Oh, the deign him burial of his men, he dispersed at St. Convent $10,000 for our general use.
No more that Thane of Cawdor shall deceive our bosom interest. Go pronounce his present death, and with his former title greet Macbeth.
I'll see it done.
What he hath lost, noble Macbeth hath won.
Where hast thou been, sister?
Killing swine.
Sister, where thou?
The sailor's wife had chestnuts in her lap, and mount, and mount, and mount. Oh, give me, quoth I. We're going to be witch, Rumford Runyon cries. Her husband to Aleppo gone, master the tiger. But in a sieve of the sail, and like a rat without a tail, I'll do, and I'll do.
I'll give you wine.
Thou art kind.
And I another.
I myself have all the other. And the very ports they blow, all the quarters that they know in the shipman's hard. I'll drain him dry as hay.
I'll drain him
Sleep
dry
shall
as
neither
hay.
night
Sleep
nor
shall
day
neither
hang
night
upon
nor
his
day
penthouse
hang upon
lid.
his
He
penthouse
shall live
lid.
a man for
He shall
day.
live a man
Very
for
se'nights
day.
9
Very
times 9
se'nights
shall
9
he
times
dwindle,
9
peak
shall
and
he
pine.
dwindle,
Though
peak
his bark
and
cannot be
pine.
lost,
Though his bark
yet it
cannot be
shall be
lost,
tempest
yet it shall
tossed.
be tempest tossed.
Be lost, yet it shall be tempest tossed.
Look what I have.
Show me, show me.
Here, I have a pilot's thumb. Wrapped as homeward he did come.
Macbeth.com.
There, sisters, hand in hand, coasters of the sea and land. Thus do go about, thrice to dine, and thrice to mine, and thrice again to make up 9.
So foul and fair a day I have not seen.
How far is it called to force? What are these? So withered and so wild in their attire, they look not like the inhabitants of the earth, yet are on it. Live you? Or are you aught that man may question? You seem to understand me, for each at once her choppy finger laying upon her skinny lip, you should be doing it, or ears and ready to interpret it to herself.
Speak, if you can. What are you?
All hail Macbeth! Hail to thee, Thane of Glamis!
All hail Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor.
All hail Macbeth, that shalt be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? In the name of truth, are you fantastical, or that indeed which outwardly you show? By noble partner you meet with present grace and great prediction of noble having and of royal hope, but he seems rapt withal. To me you speak not. If you can look into the seeds of time and say which grain will grow and which will not, speak then to me, who neither beg nor fears your favors nor your hate.
Hail.
Hail.
Hail. Lesser than Macbeth and greater.
Not so happy, yet much happier.
Thou shalt get kings, though thou be none. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo.
Banquo and Macbeth. All hail.
Stay, you imperfect speakers, tell me more. By Sinel's death I know I am Thane of Glamis, but how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives, a prosperous gentleman, and to be king stands not within the prospect of belief no more than to be Cawdor. Say, from whence you owe this strange intelligence, or why upon this blasted heath you stop our way with such prophetic bleating? Speak, I charge you!
The earth hath bubbles as the water has, and these are of them. Whither have they vanished?
Into the air, and what seemed corporal melted as breath into the wind, would they have stayed?
Were such things here as we did speak about, or have we eaten on the insane root that takes reason prisoner?
Your children shall be kings,
You shall be king.
and Thane of Cawdor, went it not so?
To the self-same tune and words. Who's that?
The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success, and when he reads thy personal venture in the rebels' sight, his wonders and his praises do contend what should be thine or his. The silence is that in viewing of the rest of the self-same day. He finds thee in the stout Norwegian ranks. Nothing of fear is what thyself didst make. strange images of death as thick as hell came post with post, and everyone did bear thy praises in his kingdom's great defence and poured them down before him.
We are sent to give thee from our royal master thanks, only to herald thee into his sight, not pay thee.
And, for an earnest of a greater honour, he bade me from him call me Thane of Cawdor, through tradition, hail most worthy Thane, for it is thine.
What can the devil speak true?
Oh, the Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
Who was the Thane lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life which he deserves to lose. Whether he was combined with those of Norway, or did line the rebels through hidden help and vantage, or that with both he laboured in his country's wrack, I know not. But treason's capital, confessed and killed, have overthrown it.
Laws. And Thane of Cawdor too, the greatest is behind. Thanks for your pains. Do you know that your children shall be kings, when those that gave the Thane of Cawdor to me promise no less to them?
That trusted home might enkindle you to the crown besides the Thane of Cawdor. But 'tis strange, and oftentimes to win us to our harm, the instruments of darkness tell us truths, win us with honest trifles to betray us in deepest consequence. Cousins, a word I pray you.
Two truths are told, as happy prologues to the swelling act of the imperial theme. I thank you, gentlemen. This supernatural soliciting cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why hath it given me earnest of success commencing? In a truth, I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, then why do I yield to that suggestion, whose horrid image doth unfix my hair and make my seated heart knock at my ribs against the use of nature? Present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thought, whose murder yet is but fantastical, shakes so my single state of man that function is smothered in surmise, and nothing is but what is not.
Look how our partner's wrapped.
If chance will have me thing, why, chance may crown me without my stir.
New honors come upon him. Like our strange garments, cleave not to their mold, but with the aid of use.
Come what come may, time and the hour runs through the roughest day.
Worthy Macbeth, we stay upon your leisure.
Give me your favor, my dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Kind gentlemen, your pains are registered where every day I turn the leaf to read them. Let us toward the cave. Think upon what hath chanced, and at more time the interim having waited, let us speak our free hearts each to other.
Very gladly.
Till then, enough. Come, friends.
On Cawdor, are not those in commission yet returned?
My liege, they are not yet come back. But I have spoke with one that saw him die, who did report that, very frankly, he confessed his treasons, implored your highness pardon, and set up a deep repentance. Nothing in his life became him like believing it. He died as one that had been studied in his death, to throw away the dearest thing he owed, as 'twere a careless trifle.
There is no art to find the mind's construction in the face. He was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust. Worthiest cousin, the sin of my ingratitude even now was heavy on me. Thou art so far before that swiftest wing of recompense is slow to overtake thee. Would thou hadst less deserved, that the proportion both of thanks and payment might have been mine. Only I have to say more as I do than more than all can pay.
The service and the loyalty I owe in doing it pays itself. Your highness' part is to receive our duties, and our duties are, to your throne and state, as children and servants, which do but what they should by doing everything safe towards your love and honor.
Welcome hither. I have begun to plant thee, and will labor to make thee full of growing. Noble Banquo, that hast no less deserved, nor must be known no less to have done so. Let me enfold thee, and hold thee to my heart.
There, if I grow, the harvest is your own.
my plenteous joys, wanton in fullness, seek to hide themselves in drops of sorrow. Sons, kinsmen, thanes, and you whose places are the nearest, know we shall establish our estate upon our eldest Malcolm, whom we name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland. Honor must not be unaccompanied. Invest him only, but signs of nobleness, like stars, shall shine on all deservers. From hence to Inverness, and bind us further to you.
The rest is labor, which is not used for you. I'll be myself the harbinger, and make joyful the hearing of my wife with news of your approach. So humbly take my leave.
My worthy Cawdor.
The Prince of Cumberland. That is a step on which I must fall down, or else o'erleap, for in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires. Let not light see my black and deep desires. The eye wink at the hand, yet let that be, which the eye fears when it is done to see.
True, worthy Banquo, he is full so valiant, and in his commendation I am fed. It is a banquet to me. Let's after him whose care is gone before to bid us welcome. It is a peerless kinsman.
They met me in the day of success, and I have learned by the perfectest report they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burnt in desire to question them further, they made themselves air, into which they vanished. Whiles I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me, and referred me to the coming on of time with Hail King that shalt be. This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightst not lose the dues of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell. Glamis thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised. Yet do I fear thy nature. It is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, art not without ambition, or without the illness should attend it. What thou wouldst highly, that wouldst thou holily. Wouldst not play false, and yet wouldst wrongly win. Thou'dst have great Glamis, that which cries, thus thou must do, thou have it. And that which rather thou dost fear to do, than wishes should be undone. Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round, which fate and metaphysical aid that seem to have thee crowned with all. What is your tidings?
The king comes here tonight.
Thou'rt mad to say it. Is not thy master with him, who wert so would have informed for preparation?
So please you, it is true. Our Thane is kind. One of my fellows had the speed of him, almost dead for breath, and scarcely more than would make up his message.
Keep him tending. He brings great news. Arrayed in himself as horse, approached the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here, and fill me from the crown to the toe, top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood, stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come to my woman's breast and take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers, wherever in your sightless substances you wait on nature's mischief. Come, thick night, and call me in the dunnest smoke of hell, but my keen knife sees not the wounded face, nor heaven peep through the blank of the darkness. Cry, hold! Hold. Great Glamis, worthy Cawdor, greater than both by the all-hail hereafter, thy letters have transported me beyond his ignorant presence, thy I feel now the future in the instant.
My dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
Oh, never shall sun that morrow see. Your face, my fane, is as a book where men may read strange matters. To beguile the time, look like the time. Bear welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that's coming must be provided for, and you shall put this night's great business into my account, which shall to all our nights and days to come give solely sovereign sway and master them.
We will speak further.
Only look up clear. To alter favor ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me.
This castle hath a pleasant seat. Here nimbly and sweetly recommends itself unto our gentle senses.
This guest of summer the temple-haunting martlet does approve, by its loved masonry. Let the heaven's breath smells wooingly here, no jutty, frieze buttress, nor coign of vantage. But this bird hath made his pedant bed and procreant cradle, where he must breed and haunt. I have observed the air is delicate.
See our honored hostess. The love that follows us often is our trouble, which still we thank as love. Herein I teach you how you shall bid God ill us for our pains, and thank us for our trouble.
All our service in every point twice done, and then done double. We're poor and single business to contend against those honors deep and broad, wherewith your majesty loads our house. For those of old, and the late dignities heaped up to them, we rest your eremites.
Where's the Thane of Cawdor? We coursed him at the Yield, and had a purpose to be his purveyor. But he rides well, and his great love, sharp as its spur, hath holp him to his home before us. Fair and noble hostess, we are your guests tonight.
Your servants ever have theirs themselves, and what is theirs in common? To make their audit at your highness' pleasure, still to return your own.
Give me your hand, conduct me to mine host. We love him highly, and shall continue our graces towards him. By your leave, hostess.
If it were done when 'tis done, and 'twere well if were done quickly.
If the assassination could trammel up the consequence, and catch with his surcease success, that but this blow might be the be-all and the end-all. Here, but here, upon this bank and shoal of time, we jump the life to come.
But in these cases we still have judgment here, that we but teach bloody instructions, which, being taught, return to plague the inventor. This even-handed justice commends the ingredients of our poisoned chalice to our own lips. He's here in double trust. First, as I am his subject and his kinsman, strong both against the deed. Then, as his host, who should against his murderer shut the door, not bear the knife herself.
Besides, this Duncan hath borne his faculties so meek, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtues will plead like angels, trumpet-tongued against the deep damnation of his taking off, and pity like a naked newborn babe striding the blast, or heaven's cherubims, horsed upon the sightless couriers of the air, shall blow the horrid deed in every eye, that tears shall drown the wind. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, only vaulting ambition, which o'erleaps itself and falls on the other. And now, what news?
He's almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
No, you not. He has.
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which would be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk, wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since, and wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time, such I count thy love. Art thou feared to be the same in thine own act and valor as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou seemst the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem, letting I dare not wait upon I would, like the poor cat of the adage?
Pretty peace. I dare do all that may become a man.
Who dares no more is none. What goose was then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more than man. Time or place did then adhere, and yet you would make both. They have made themselves, and that their fitness now does unmake you. I have given a sign, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while 'tis smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from his boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as you have done to this.
If we should fail.
We fail! But screw your courage to the sticking place, and we'll not fail. When Duncan is asleep, where to the rather shall his day's hard journey soundly invite him, his two chamberlains will I with wine and wassail so convince, that memory, the warder of the brain, shall be a fume, and the receipt of reason a limbeck only. When in swinish sleep their ventured natures lies as in a death, what cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great web? Bring forth men children only, for thy undaunted mettle should compose nothing but males. Will it not be received, when we have marked with blood those sleepy two of his own chamber, and used their very daggers, that they have done it? Who dares receive it other, as we shall make our griefs and clamor roar upon his death? I am settled, and bend up each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away, and mock the time with fairest show. False face must hide what the false heart doth know.
How goes the night, boy?
The moon is down. I have not heard the clock.
Ah, she goes down at 12.
I take it is later, sir.
Hold. Take my sword. There's a husbandry in heaven. The candles are all out. Take you that soon. A heavy summons lies like lead upon me, and yet I would not sleep. Merciful powers, restrain in me the constant thoughts that nature gives way to in repose. Give me my sword. Who's that?
A friend!
What, sir, not yet at rest? The king's abed. He has been in unusual pleasure, and hath fed forth great largesse to your offices. This diamond, he greets your wife withal, by the name of most kind hostess. Shut up and measure this.
Being unprepared, our will became the servant to defect, which else should spring abroad.
All's well. I drank last night at the 3 word sisters. To you they have shown some truth.
I think not of them. Yet, when we can entreat an hour to serve, we would send it in some words upon that business, if you desire the time.
That's your kindest leisure.
If you shall cleave to my consent, when 'tis, it shall make honor for you.
So long as I lose none in seeking to augment it, but keep my bosom franchise and allegiance clear, I shall be counseled.
Good repose the while.
Thanks, sir, the like to you.
Go, bid thy mistress. When my drink is ready, she strike upon the bell. Get thee to bed. Is this a dagger, which I see before me, the handle towards my hand? Come, let me touch thee. I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou not, fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind,
false creation proceeding from the heat oppressed brain. I see thee still, in form as palpable as this which now I draw. Thou marshalest me the way that I was going, and such an instrument was I to use. Mine eyes are made the fools of the other senses, or else worth all the rest. I see thee still, and on thy blade and dudgeon gouts of blood which was not so before. There is no such thing. It is the bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. Now, o'er the one half-world nature seems dead, and wicked dreams abuse the curtained sleep. Witchcraft celebrates pale Hecate's offerings, and withered murder, alarmed by his sentinel, the wolf whose howls his watch, thus, with his stealthy pace, with Tarquin's ravishing strides, towards his design moves like a ghost. Thou sure and firm set earth, hear not my steps, which way they walk for fear. Thy very stones prate of my whereabouts, and take the present horror from the time which now suits with it. Whiles I fret, he lives. Words to the heat of deeds too cold breath gives. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell that summons thee to heaven, or to hell.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark. Peace. 'Tis the owl that shrieked. The fatal bellman, which is the sternest good night. He is about it, the doors are open, and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I've drugged their possets, that death and nature do contend about them, whether they live or die. Who is there? Alack, I'm afraid they've awaked and still not done. The attempt and not the deed confounds us. Hark, I laid their daggers ready. He could not miss him. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I had done it. My husband.
I have done the deed. Didst thou not hear a noise?
I heard the owl scream and the cricket's cry. Did not you speak?
When?
Now?
As I descended.
Aye.
Hark, who lies in the second chamber?
Balmain?
This is a sorry sight.
Foolish thought to say sorry sight.
There's one did laugh in his sleep, and one cried murder that they did wake each other. I stood and heard them, but they did say their prayers and address them again to sleep.
There's two lodged together.
One cried, God bless us, and amen the other, as they had seen me with these hangman's hands. Listening their fear, I could not say amen when they did say God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
But wherefore could I not pronounce amen? I had most need of blessing, and amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought after these ways. So it will make us mad.
Methought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth does murder sleep, the innocent sleep. Sleep that knits up the raveled sleeve of care, the death of each day's life, sore labor's bath, balm of the hurt, mind's chief nourisher in life's feast, great nature's second course.
What do you mean?
Still it cried, sleep no more, to all the house. Bloms have murdered sleep, and therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more, Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? My worthy Thane, you do unbend your noble strength to think so brain-sickly of things. Go, get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hand. Why did you bring the dagger from the place? They must lie there. Go carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
I'll go no more. I am afraid to think what I have done. Look on it again, I dare you.
Infirm of purpose. Give me the dagger. Sleeping in the dead of his pictures. It's the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their gift.
This is a knocking. How is it with me when every noise appalls me? What hands are here? They pluck out mine eyes! Will all great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hair? No. This my hand will rather the multitudinous seas incarnadine, making the green one red.
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. I hear nothing at the sound. Retire we to our chamber. A little water clears us of this deed. How easy to think. Your constancy hath left you unattended. Hark, nor knocking. Get on your knight, unless occasion calls and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, 'twere best not know myself. Wake Duncan with thy knocking! I would know this.
Here's a knocking indeed. If a man were porter of Hellgate, he should have all turning the key. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there in the name of Beelzebub? Here's a farmer that hanged himself on the expectation of plenty. Come in time, have napkins enow about you. Here, you'll sweat for it. Knock, knock. Who's there in the other devil's name? Here's an equivocator that could swear in both the scales against either scale, who committed treason enough for God's sake, yet could not equivocate to heaven. Oh, come in, equivocator. Knock, knock. Who's there? Here's an English tailor, committed for stealing out of a French house. Come in, tailor. Here you may roast your goose. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? This place is too cold for help. I'll devil quarter it no further. I had thought to let in some of all the professions that go the primrose way to the everlasting bonfire. Anon, anon! I pray you, remember the porter.
Was it so late, friend, ere you went to bed, that you do lie so late?
Hey, sir, we were carousing till the second cock. And drink, sir, is a great provoker of three things.
And what three things does drink especially provoke?
Mary, sir, nose painting, sleep, and urine. Lechery, sir, it provokes and unprovoked. It provokes the desire, but it takes away the performance. Therefore, much drink may be said to be an equivocator with lechery. It makes him and it mars him. It sets him on and it takes him off. It persuades him and disheartens him. Makes him stand to and not stand to. In conclusion, equivocates him in a sleep and, giving him the lie, leaves him
I believe drink gave thee the lie last night.
That it did, sir, in the very throat on me. But I requited him for his life, and I think being too strong for him. He took up my legs sometime, yet I made a shift to cast him.
Is thy master stirring? Ah, our knocking has awaked him. Here he comes.
Good morrow, noble sir.
Tomorrow, both.
Is the king stirring, worthy king?
Not yet.
They command me to call timely on him. I've almost slipped the hour.
I'll bring you to him.
I know this is a joyful trouble to you, but yet 'tis one.
The labor we delight in physics pain. This is the door.
I'll make so bold to call, for 'tis my limited service.
Goes the king hence today?
He does. He did appoint so.
The night has been unruly. Where we lay, our chimneys were blown down. And as they say, lamenting turned to the air strange screams of death, and prophesying with accents terrible of dire combustion and confused events new hests for the woeful time. The obscure bird clamored the livelong night. Some say the earth was feverish and did shake.
'Twas a rough night.
My young remembrance cannot parallel a fellow to it.
Oh, horror! 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 Tongue nor heart cannot conceive nor name thee!
What is the matter?
Confusion now hath made his masterpiece. Most sacrilegious murder has broke up the Lord's anointed temple and stole thence the life of the building.
What is you say, the life?
Mean you his majesty?
Approach the chamber and destroy your sight with a new carcass. Do not bid me speak. See, and then speak yourselves. Awake! Awake! Bring the alarm bell! Murder and treason! Bethel Delvey! Malcolm, awake! Shake off this downy sleep, death's counterfeit, and look on death itself. Up, up and see the great doom's image. Malcolm! Bakewell! From your graves rise up and walk like sprites to countenance this horror. Ring the bell!
What's the business that such a hideous trumpet calls upon the sleepers of the house? Speak! Speak!
Oh, gentle lady, 'tis not for you to hear what I can speak. The repetition in a woman's ear would murder as it fell. Oh, Bakewell, Bakewell! Our royal master's murdered.
Oh, alas, what? In our house?
Too cruel anywhere. Dare doth I prithee contradict thyself and say it is not so.
Had I but died an hour before this chance, I had lived a blessed time. For from this instant, there's nothing serious in mortality. All is but toys. Renown and grace are dead. The wine of life is drawn, and the mere lees is left this vault to brag of.
What is amiss?
Go on, and do not know it. The spring, the head, the fountain of your blood is stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
Your royal father's murdered.
By whom?
Those of his chamber as it seemed had done it. Their hands and faces were all badged with blood. So were their daggers which, unwiped, we found upon their pillows. They stared and were distracted. No man's life is to be trusted with them.
Oh, yet I do repent me of my fury that I did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
Who can be wise, amazed, temperate, and furious, loyal and neutral in a moment? No man. The expedition of my violent love outran the cause of reason. Here lay Duncan, his silver skin laced with his golden blood, and his gashed stabs looked like a breach in nature for ruin's wasteful entrance. They're the murderers, steeped in the colors of their trade, their daggers unmannerly breached with blood. Who could refrain, that had a heart to love, and in that heart, courage to make his love known?
Help me hence! Oh!
Look to the ladies!
Why do we hold our tongues when most may play this argument for hours? What should be spoken here where our fates hidden and augural may rush and seize us? But away, our tears are not yet bruised.
nor our strong sorrow upon the foot of motion.
Look to the lady. When we have our naked frailties hid, that suffer exposure, let us meet and question this most bloody piece of work to know it further. Fears and scruples shake us. In the great hand of God I stand, and thence against this undivulged pretense I fight of treasonous malice.
And so do I.
So all. Let's briefly put on manly readiness and meet in the hall together.
Well contended.
What shall we do? Let's not consort with them. To show an unfelt sorrow is an office that the false man does easy. Of England to Ireland I, our separated fortunes shall keep us both the safer. Where we are, there's daggers in men's smiles. The nearer in blood, the nearer bloody. The murderous shaft that shot is not yet lighted, and our safest way is to avoid the aim. Therefore to horse, and let us not be dainty of leave taking, but shift at once. There's warrant in that fact which steals itself, and there's no mercy left.
Threescore and 10 I can remember well. Within the volume of time I have seen hours dreadful and things strange. But this sore night hath trifled all former knowings.
How, good father, thou seest the heavens as troubled with man's act, threatens his bloody stage. By the clock 'tis day, and yet the dark night strangles the travelling lamp. This night's predominance is the day's shame. That darkness does the face of earth and tomb when living light should kiss it.
'Tis unnatural, even like the deed that's done. On Tuesday last, a falcon, cowering in her pride of place, by a mousing owl hawked at and killed.
And Duncan's horses, a thing most strange and certain. Beauteous in their natures, swift and strong, turned wild in nature, broke their stalls, flung out, contending against obedience as they would make war with mankind.
'Tis said they ate each other.
They did so, to the amazement of mine eyes that looked upon. Here comes the good Macbeth. How goes the world, sir, now?
Why, see you not?
It's known who did this more than bloody deed.
Those that Macbeth hath slain.
Alas, the day, what good could they pretend?
They were suborned. Malcolm and Donalbain, the king's two sons, are stolen away and fled, which puts upon them suspicion of the deed.
Against nature still. Thriftless ambition that will raven up thine own life's needs. Most likely sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth.
He is already named, and gone to Scone to be invested.
Where is Duncan's body?
Carried to Colmkill, the sacred storehouse of his predecessors and guardian of their bones.
Will you Scone?
No, cousin, I'll suffice.
I will thither.
Well, may you see things well done there. Adieu. Lest our old robe sit easier than our new.
Farewell, brother.
God's benison be with you, and with those that would make good of bad, and friends of foes.
Thou hast it now. King, Cawdor, Glamis, all, as the weird women promised. And I fear thou played most foully for it. But it was said it should not stand in thy posterity, but that I should be the root and father of many kings. If truth come from them, as upon thee, Macbeth, their speeches shine, why by the verities on thee made true. Should they not be my oracles as well, and set me up in hope? But hush, no more.
Here's our chief guest. If he had been forgotten, it had been as a gaff of our great feast, and all thing unbecoming.
Tonight we hold a solemn supper, sir, and I'll request your presence.
Let your highness command upon me, to which my duties are with the most indissoluble tie forever named.
Ride you this afternoon.
Aye, my lord.
We should have else desired your good advice, which still hath been both grave and prosperous in this day's council. But we'll take it tomorrow. As far you ride?
As far, my lord, as will fill up the time twixt this and supper. Go not my horse the better, I might become a bar of the night for a darker hour or twain.
Fail not our feast.
My lord, I will not.
We hear our bloody cousins are bestowed in England and in Ireland, not confessing their cruel parricide, filling their hearers with strange invention. But of that tomorrow, when therewithal we shall have cause of state craving us shortly. Hie you to horse, adieu to your return at night. Goes Fleance with you?
Aye, my lord. Our time does call upon us.
I wish your horse is swift and sure of foot, and so I to commend you to their best. Farewell. Let every man be master of his time till 7 at night. To make society the sweeter welcome, we will keep ourselves till supper time alone. Well then, God be with you. Sirrah, a word with you. Attend those men our pleasure.
They are, my lord, without the palace gate.
Bring them before us. To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. Our fears in Banquo stick deep, and in his royalty of nature reigns that which would be feared. 'Tis much he dares, and to that dauntless temper of his mind he hath a wisdom that doth guide his valor to act in safety. There is none but he whose being I do fear, and under him my genius is rebuked, as it is said Mark Antony's was by Caesar. He chid the sisters, when first they placed the name of king upon me, bade them speak to him. Then, prophet-like, they hailed him father to a line of kings. Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown, put a barren scepter in my grasp, thence to be wrenched with an unlineal hand, no son of mine succeeding. If it be so, for Banquo's issue have I filed my mind. For them, the gracious Duncan, have I murdered. The rancors in the vessel of my peace only for them, and mine eternal jewel given to the common enemy of man, to make them kings, the seeds of Banquo kings. Rather than so, come fate into the list, and champion me to the utterance. Who's there? Now go to the door and stay there till we call. Was it not yesterday we spoke together?
It was, so please your highness.
Well then, now have you considered of my speeches? Know that it was he, in the times past, which held you so under fortune which you thought had been our innocent self. This I made good to you in our last conference, passed in probation with you. How you were born in hand, how crossed the instruments who wrought with them, and all things else that might, to half a soul and to a notion crazed, say, thus did Banquo.
You made it known to us.
I did so, and went further, which is now our point of second meeting. Do you find your patience so predominant in your nature that you can let this go? Are you so gospel as to pray for this good man and for his issue, whose heavy hand hath bound you to the grave and beggared yours forever?
We are men, my liege.
Aye, in the catalogues you go for men, as hounds and greyhounds, mongrels, spaniels, curs, shocks, water rugs, and demi-wolves are kept all by the name of dogs. The value file distinguishes the slow, the swift, the subtle, the hunter, the housekeeper, every one according to what gift bounteous nature hath in him closed, whereby he does receive particular addition from the bill that writes them all alike. And so of men. Now, if you have a station in the file not in the worst rank of manhood, say it, and I will put that business to your bosoms whose execution takes your enemy off, and grapples thee to the heart and love of us, who wear our health but sickly in his life, which in his death were perfect.
I am one, my liege, whom the vile blows and buffets of the world hath so incensed that I am reckless what I do to spite the world.
And I had never, so wearied with disaster, tugged with fortune, that I might set my life on any chance to mend it or be rid on.
Both of you know Banquo was your enemy.
True,
my lord.
So is he mine. And in such bloody distance that every minute of his being thrusts against my nearest of life. And though I could, with bare-faced power, sweep him from my sight and bid my will avouch it, yet I must not. For certain friends that are both his and mine, whose loves I may not drop, but wail his fall who I myself struck down. And thence it is that I, to your assistance, do make loves, masking the business from the common eye for sundry weighty reasons.
We shall, my lord, perform what you command us.
Your spirits shine through you. Within this hour, at most, I will advise you where to plant yourselves, acquaint you with the perfect spy of the time, the moment on it, for it must be done tonight, and something from the palace. Always thought that I require a clearness. And with him, to leave no rubs nor botches in the work, his son, Cleus, that keeps him company, whose absence is no less material to me than is his father's, must embrace the fate of that dark hour. Resolve yourselves apart, I'll come to you anon.
We are resolved, my lord.
I'll call upon you straight. Abide within. It is concluded. Banquo, thy soul's flight, if it find heaven, must find it out tonight.
Is Banquo gone from court?
Aye, madam, but returns again tonight.
Say to the king I would attend his leisure for a few words.
Madam, I will.
Not time, all spent, where our desire is got without content. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy, than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. How now, my lord? Why do you keep alone? What sorriest fancies your companions make in using those thoughts which should indeed have died with them they think on. Things without all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done.
We have scorched the snake, not killed it. She'll close and be herself, whilst our poor malice remains in danger of her former tooth. But let the frame of things be short. Both the worlds suffer, for we will eat our meal in fear and sleep in the affliction of these terrible dreams that shake us nightly. Better be with the dead, whom we, to gain our peace, have sent to peace, than on the torture of the mind to lie in restless ecstasy. Duncan is in his grave. After life's fitful fever, he sleeps well. Treason has done his worst. Nor steel, nor poison, malice, domestic, foreign, levy, nothing can touch him further.
Come on, gentle my lord, sleek o'er your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial among your guests tonight.
So shall I love, and so I pray be you. Let your remembrance apply to Banquo. Present him eminence, both with eye and tongue. Unsafe the while, that we must lave our honors in these flattering strains and make our faces vizards to our hearts, disguising what they are.
You must leave this.
Oh, full of scorpions is my mind, dear one. Thou knowest Banquo and his fleance lives.
In them, nature's copies not a turn.
There's comfort yet. They are assailable. Then be thou jocund. Ere the bat hath flown his cloistered flight, ere to black Hecate summons the shard-born beetle with his drowsy hums hath rung night's yawning peal, there shall be done a deed of dreadful note.
What's to be done?
Be innocent of the knowledge, dearest Chuck, till thou applaud the deed. Come, sealing night, scarf up the tender eye of pitiful day, and with thy bloody and invisible hand cancel and tear to pieces that great bond which keeps me pale. Light thickens, and the crow makes wing to the rooky wood. Good things of day begin to droop and drowse, whilst night's black agents to their praise do rouse. Thou marvelest at my words, but hold thee still. Things bad be done make strong themselves by ill. So pretty, go with me.
But who did bid thee join with us? Macbeth!
He needs not our mistrust, since he delivers our offices and what we have to do for the direction just.
Then stand with us. The west deck glimmers with some streaks of day. Now spurs the lated traveller case to gain the timely inn, and near approaches the subject for watch. Hark, I hear horses! Give us a light there, ho!
Then 'tis he. The rest that are within the note of expectation are during the course.
His horses go about.
Almost a mile, but he does usually, so all men do. From hence to the palace gate make it their way.
A light, a light!
'Tis he. Stand to it.
It will be rain tonight.
Let it come down.
Oh! Treachery! Fly, McLean! Fly, fly, fly! Amaze the rain! Oh, slave!
Who did strike out the light?
Was not the way?
There's but one down, the sun is fled.
We have lost best half of our fare.
Well, let's away and see how much is done.
Beg your indulgence, brief intermission.
You know your own degrees. Sit down. At first and last, a hearty welcome.
Thank you,
Your Majesty. Ourselves will mingle with society and play the humble host. Our hostess keeps her state, but in best time we will require her welcome.
Pronounce it for me, sir, to all our friends. For my heart speaks, they are welcome.
Thanks to your Majesty.
See, they encounter thee in their heart's banks. Both sides, or even here I'll sit to the midst. Be large in mirth. Anon, we'll bring a measure the table round. There's blood on thy face.
'Tis baked was then.
'Tis better thee without than he within. Is he dispatched?
My lord, his throat is cut. That I did for him.
Thou art the best of the cutthroats. Yet, he is good that did the like for fleas. If thou didst the power of the nonpareil,
Most royal sir, France escaped.
then comes my fit again. I had else been perfect, whole as the marble, founded as the rock, as broad
and general as the pacing air. But now I am cabined, cribbed, confined, bound into saucy doubts and fears. But Banquo's safe.
Aye, my lord. Safe in a ditch he bides, with 20 trenched gashes round his head, the least of which would prove a death to nature.
Thanks for that. There the groaned serpent lies. The worm that spread hath nature that in time will venom breed, no teeth for the present. Get thee gone. Tomorrow we will hear ourselves again.
My royal lord, you do not give the cheer. The feast is sold that is not often vouchful to the making. 'Tis given with welcome. The feed were best at home. From thence the sauce to meat is ceremony. Meeting were bare without it.
Sweet remembrance, sir. Now good digestion waits on appetite and health on both.
May it please your highness, sit.
Here had we now our country's honor root. Were the great person of our Banquo present, who may I rather challenge for unkindness than pity for mischance.
His absence, sir, lays blame upon his promise. Please let your highness to grace us with your royal presence.
The table's full.
Here's the place reserved, sir.
Where?
Dear my good lord.
Which of you have done this?
What, my lord?
Thou canst not say I did it. Never shake thy gory locks at me.
Gentlemen, rise. His highness is not well.
Sit, worthy friends. My lord is often thus, and hath been from his youth. Pray you keep seat. The fit is momentary. Upon a thought he will again be well. This much you know, and you shall offend him and extend his passion. Feed and regard him not.
Are you a man? Aye, and a bold one to dare look on that which might appall the devil.
Oh, proper stuff. This is the very painting of your fear. This is the air-drawn dagger which you said led to Duncan. Oh, these flaws and starts, impostors to true fear, would well become a woman's story of a winter's fire authorized by her granddam. Shame itself! Why do you make such faces? When all's done, you look but on a stool.
Prithee, see there! Behold, look now, how say you? Why, what care I? If thou canst not, speak to! Charnel houses and our graves must send those that we bury beg, our monuments shall be the maws of kites!
What? Quite unmanned in folly!
If I stand here, I saw him.
Fie for shame.
Blood hath been shed ere now. In the olden days, ere humane statute purged the gentle weal. Aye, and since too, murders have been performed too terrible for the ear. The time has been that when the brains were out, the man would die, and there an end. But now, they rise again with 20 mortal murders on their crowns and push us from our stools. This is more strange than such a murder is.
My worthy lord, your noble friends do lack you.
I do forget. Do not muse at me, my most worthy friends. I have a strange infirmity, which is nothing to those that know me. Come. Love and health to all, and then I'll sit. Give me some wine. Fill full. I drink to the general joy of a whole table, and to our dear friend Banquo, whom we miss. Would he were here. To all and him we thirst, and all to all.
Our duties and pledge.
Avaunt! And quit my sight! Thy bones are marrowless, thy blood is cold. Thou hast no speculation in those eyes which thou dost glare with.
Think of this, good peers, but as a thing of custom. 'Tis no other, only it spoils the pleasure of the time.
Crouch thou, like the rugged Russian bear, the armed rhinoceros, or the Kyrgyz tiger. Take any shape of that, and my firm nerves shall never tremble. Or be alive again. Dare me, the desert with thy sword is trembling. I inhabit then, protest me, the baby of a worm. Hands! Horrible shadow of real mockery hands! Why, so being gone, I am a man again. Pray you, sit still.
You have displaced the mirth, broke the good meeting with most admired disorder.
And such things be.
and overcome us like a summer's cloud without our special wonder. You make me strange, even to the disposition that I owe, when now I think you can behold such sights, and keep the natural ruby of your cheeks, when mine is blanched with fear!
What sights, my lord?
I pray you to speak not. He grows worse and worse. Question enrages him. At once, good night. Stand not upon the order of your going, but go once.
Good night. And better health and good majesty.
A kind good night to all.
It will have blood, they say. Blood will have blood. Stones have been known to move and trees to speak. Augurs and understood relations have by maggot pies and chucks and rooks brought forth the secretest man of blood. What is the night?
Almost at odds with morning, which is which?
How sayest thou that Macbeth denies his person at our great bidding?
Did you send to him, sir?
I hear it by the way, but I will send. There is not a one of them, but in his house I keep a servant feed. I will tomorrow, and betimes I will to the weird sisters. More shall they speak, for now I am bent to know by the worst means the worst for mine own good. All causes shall give way. I am in blood stepped in so far that should I wade no more, returning were as tedious as goal. Strange things I have in head, but will to hand, which must be acted ere they may be stand.
You lack the season of all natures. Sleep.
Come, will to sleep. My strange and self-abuse is the initiate fear that wants our use. We are yet but young, indeed.
I form the speech of every part of the twin and perfect father, when the eyesight of things have been strangely warm, gracious sunken and seated of his facts. Mary, he is dead. And the right valley drink will walk too late. And you may say, please you, fence church, man's blessed. Men must not walk too late. Who could not want the thought how monstrous it was for Malcolm and for Donalbain to kill their gracious father? Damned his fact, how it did grieve Macbeth. Did he not strike in pious rage the two delinquent tailors were the slaves of drink and throes of sleep? Was not that nobly done? Aye, and wisely too, which would have angered any heart alive to hear the men deny it. Though that I say he has borne all things well, and I do think that had he been sons under his teeth, they should know what it were to kill a father, so should Cleance. But, peace. From broad words and cause, I hear he fails his presence at the tyrant's feast. I hear Macbeth is in disgrace. Sir, can you tell where he bestows himself?
The son of Duncan, from whom this tyrant holds the dues of birth, lives in the English court and is received of the most pious Edward, with such grace that the malevolence of fortune nothing takes from his high respect. Thither Macduff has gone to pray the holy king upon his aid, to wake Northumberland and warlike seaward, that with the help of these, with him above, to ratify the work, we may again give to our tables meat, sleep to our nights, free from our feasts and banquets bloody knives, do faithful homage and receive free honors, all which we pine for now. And this report has so exasperate their king that he prepares for attempts of war.
Sent he to Macbeth?
He did, sir, with an absolute, sir, not I. The cloudy messenger turned me his back, and hums as if to say, you'll rue the time that plots me with this answer.
Not from might advise him to a caution to hold what distance his wisdom can provide. Some holy angel, fly to the court of England and unfold his message ere he come, that a swift blessing may soon return to this our suffering country under a hand accursed.
I'll send my prayers with him.
Thrice the brinded cat is mewed,
Thrice at once the hedge pig whines.
Hark your cries, 'tis time, 'tis time.
round about the cauldron grow, into poisoned entrails throw. Toad that under cold stone, days and nights has 31, sweltered venom sleeping got, boiled out first in the charmed pot.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Fill it with a fenny snake, in the cauldron boil and bake. Eye of newt and toad frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog, adder's fork and blindhorn's sting, lizard's lay and howlet's wing, for a charm of powerful trouble, like a hellbroth boil and bubble. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, maw and wolf, of the raven, salt sea stark, root of hemlock, digged in the dark, liver of blaspheming Jew, gall of goat, and slips of yew, silvered in the moon's ghost, nose of turkey and tartar's lips, finger of birth strangled babe, ditch delivered by a drab, make a pool thick and slab. Add thereto a tiger's chowder for the ingredients of our cauldron.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Cool it, Babin's blood, that the charm is firm and good. By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. Open locks, brother knocks.
How now, you secret black and midnight hags? What is you do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you, by that which you profess, howe'er you came to know it, answer me. Though you untie the winds and let them fight against the churches, though the yesty waves confound and swallow navigation up, though bladed corn be lodged and trees blown down, though castles topple on their warders' heads, though palaces and pyramids do slope their heads to their foundations, though the treasure of nature's Germans tumble all together, even till destruction sicken, answer me to what I ask you.
Speak.
Demand.
Will answer.
Say if that's rather hear from our mouths or from our masters.
Call them. Let me see them.
Foreign sow's blood vetteth etten, her nine pharaoh, grief that sweaten from the murderer's dirt, throw into the flame.
Come high or low, thyself and office deathly show.
Tell me, thou unknown power.
He knows thy thought, hear his speech, but say thou not. Macbeth, 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 beware, Macbeth, beware the fate of fight. Dismiss me, enough.
Whate'er thou art, for thy good caution, thanks thou hast taught my fear aright. But one word more.
You will not be commanded. Here's another, more potent than the first.
Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth.
Had I 3 ears, I'd hear thee.
Be bloody, bold, and resolute. Laugh to scorn the power of man. For none of woman here shall harm Macbeth.
And live and just. What need I fear of thee? But yes, I'll make assurance double sure. Take a bond of fate. Thou shalt not live, that I may tell pale-hearted fear it lies, and sleep in spite of thunder.
baby brow the round and top of sovereignty.
Listen, but speak not to it.
Be lion-mettled, proud, and give no care who chafes, who frets, or where conspirers are. Macbeth shall never vanquished be, till great Burnham would to high Dunsinane come against him.
That will never be. Who can impress the forest, bid the tree unfix its earthbound root? Sweet bodings good. Rebellion's head, rise never till the wood of Burnham rise. And our high slate Macbeth shall live the lease of nature, paying his breath to time and mortal custom. Yet my heart throbs to know one thing more. Tell me, if your art can tell so much, shall Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied. Deny me this, and an eternal curse fall on you. Let me know, or sinks that cauldron. And what noise is this?
Show. Show his eyes and grieve his heart. Come like shadows, so depart.
Thou art too like the spirit of Banquo. Down! A crown to sear mine eyeball. And thy hair, thou utter gold-found brow is like the first. The third is like the former. Filthy hags, why do you show me this? Boy, stark eyes, what will the line stretch out to the crack of doom? Another, yes, a seven. I'll see no more. And yet, the eighth appears. He bears a glass which shows me many more. And some I see that twofold balls and treble scepters carry. Oh, horrible sight! Now I see 'tis true. The blood-boltered Banquo smiles upon me and points at them for his. What? Is this so? Where are they? Gone? Let this pernicious hour stand I accursed in the calendar! Come in without there.
What's your grace's will?
Saw you the weird sisters.
No, my lord.
Came they not by you?
No, indeed, my lord.
Infected be the air whereon they ride, and damned all those that trust them. I did hear the galloping of horse. Who was came by?
'Tis 2 or 3, my lord, that bring you word. Macduff is fled to England.
Fled to England?
Aye, my lord.
Time, thou anticipatest my dread exploit. The flighty purpose never is o'ertook unless the deed go with it. From this moment, the very firstlings of my heart shall be the firstlings of my hands. And even now, to crown thoughts with acts, be it thought and done. In the castle of Macduff, I will surprise. Seize upon Fife, give to the edge of the sword his wife, his babes, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line. No boasting like a fool. This deed I'll do before this purpose cool. But no more sights. Where are these gentlemen? Come, bring me where they are.
What had he done to make him fly to land?
Must have patience, madam.
He had none. His flight was madness, and our actions do not, our fears do make us traitors.
I know not whether it is wisdom or his fear.
Wisdom. To leave his wife, to leave his babes, his mansions, and his titles in a place from whence himself does fly. He loves us not. He wants the natural touch. For the poor wren, the most diminutive of birds, will fight her young ones in the nest against the owl.
All is the fear, and nothing is the love. As little is the wisdom where the flight so runs against all reason.
My dearest, could I pray you school yourself? The royal husband, he is noble, wise, judicious, and best knows the fits of the season. I dare not speak much further, but cruel are the times when we are traitors and do not know ourselves. When we hold rumour to what we fear, yet know not what we fear, but float upon a wild and violent sea, each way and none. I take my leave of you. It shall not be long, but I will appear again. Things at worst will cease for us, are not what they were before. My pretty cousin, blessings upon you.
Fathered he is, and yet he is fatherless.
And so much a fool. Should I stay longer, it would be my disgrace and your discomfort. I take my leave at once.
Sirach! Your father is dead. And what will you do now? How will you live?
As birds do, Mother.
What, with worms and flies?
Look what I get. I mean, so do they.
Poor bird, thou'st never fear the net nor line, the pitfall nor the gin.
Why should I, Mother? Poor birds, they're not set for. My father's not dead, for all your
Yes, he is dead. How wilt thou do for a father?
Nay, how will you do for a husband?
But I can buy me 20 at any market.
Then you'll buy in the cell again.
Oh, thou speakst with all thy wit, and yet a faith, with wit enough for thee.
Was my father a traitor, Mother?
Aye, that he was.
What is a traitor?
Why, one that swears and lies.
Be all traitors that do so?
Everyone that does so is a traitor, and must be hanged.
Must they all be hanged that swear and lie?
Everyone?
Then the liars and swears are fools. They're liars and swears, now to beat the honest men and hang up them.
God help thee, poor monkey. But how wilt thou do for a father?
If he were dead, you'd weep for him. If he would not, it is a good sign that I should quickly have a new father.
Poor prattler, how thou talkst.
Bless you, fair dame. I'm not, you know, though in your state of honor I am perfect. I doubt some danger doth approach you nearly. You will take a homely man's advice. Be not found here hence with your little one. To fright you thus, methinks I am too savage. To do worse to you would be fell cruelty, which is too nigh your person. Heaven preserve you, I dare buy no longer.
Whither shall I fly? I have done no harm. But now I remember I am in this earthly world where to do harm is often laudable. To do good sometimes accounted dangerous folly. If I had done the last, I would have that womanly defense to say, I have done no harm. What are these faces?
Where's your husband?
I hope in no place so unsanctified where such as thou mayst find him.
He's a traitor.
Don't lie, you so sad-haired villain.
What, you egg? Oh, no! Young fry of treachery.
He has killed me, Mother. Run away, I pray you.
Seek out some desolate shades, and I weep on sad bosoms empty.
Let us rather hold fast the mortal sword, and like good men bestride our downfall and burst them. Each new morn, new widows howl, new orphans cry, new sorrows strike heaven on a face that resounds as if it felt with Scotland. And yell that like syllable of dolor.
What I believe I'll wail. What no believes, and what I can redress, as I shall find the time to friend, I will. What you have spoken may be so, perchance. This tyrant whose sole name blisters our tongue was once thought honest. You have loved him well. He hath not touched you yet. I am young, but something you may deserve of him through me, and wisdom to offer up a weak, poor, innocent lamb to appease an angry god.
I am not treacherous.
But Macbeth is. A good and virtuous nature may recoil in an imperial charge. But I shall crave your pardon. That which you are, my thoughts cannot transpose. Angels are bright still, though the brightest fell. Though all things foul wear the brows of grace, yet grace must still look so.
I have lost my hopes.
Perchance even there where I did find my doubts. Why, in that rawness left you wife and child, those precious motives and strong knots of love without leave taking. But let not my jealousy see your dishonors but mine own safeties. You may be rightly just, whatever I shall think.
Lead, poor country. Great tyranny, lay thou thy basest shore, for goodness dare not check thee. Wear you thy wrongs. The title is of fear. Fare thee well, Lord. I would not be villain for the whole space of the tyrant's grasp, and the riches to boot.
Be not offended. I speak not as an absolute fear of you. I think our country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps. It bleeds, and each new day a gash is added to her wounds. I think withal there would be hands uplifted in my right, and hence from gracious England have I offer of goodly thousands. Yet, for all this, when I shall tread upon the tyrant's head, or wear it on my sword, yet my poor country shall have more vices than it had before, more suffer, and more sundry ways than ever by him that shall succeed.
What should he be?
It is myself, I mean, in whom I know all the particulars of vice so grafted that when they should but open, black Macbeth shall seem as pure as snow, and the poor state esteem him as a lamb, being compared with my confineless harms.
Not in the legions of horrid hell can come a devil more damned than evil, to top Macbeth.
I grant him bloody, luxurious, avaricious, false, deceitful, sudden, malicious, smacking of every sin that has a name. But there is no bottom, none, to my voluptuousness. Your wives, your daughters, your matrons, and your maids cannot fill up the cistern of my lust, and my desire, all content impediments, would o'erbear that did oppose my will. Better Macbeth than such a one to reign.
Boundless intemperance in nature is the tyranny. There has been the untimely emptying of the happy throne, and fall of many kings. But fear not yet to take upon you what is yours. You may convey your pleasures in a spacious plenty, and yet seem cold. The time you may so hoodwink, and we have willing dames enough. There cannot be that vulture in you to devour so many as will with greatness dedicate themselves, finding it so inclined.
With this there grows in my most ill-conceived affection such a staunchless avarice, that were I king, I should cut off the nobles of their lands, desiring his jewels, and this other's house, and my more having would serve as sauce to make me hunger more. I should forge quarrels unjust against the good and loyal, destroying them for wealth.
This avarice sticks deeper, grows with more pernicious root than summer-seeming lust, and it has been the sword of our slain kings. Yet do not fear. Scotland hath poisons to fill up your will of your mere own. All these are portable with other graces' way.
But I have none. The king becoming graces as justice, verity, temperance, stableness, bounty, perseverance, mercy, lowliness, devotion, patience, courage, fortitude. I have no relish of them, but abound in the division of every several crime, acting in many ways. Nay, had I power, I should pour the sweet milk of concord into hell, uproar the universal peace, confound all mutiny on earth.
Oh, Scotland.
If such a one be fit to govern, speak. I am as I have spoken.
Fit to govern? No, not to live. O nation miserable, with an untitled tyrant bloody sceptred, when shalt thou see thy wholesome days again? Since that the truest issue of thy throne by his own interdiction stands accused and does blaspheme his breed. Thy royal father was a most sainted king. The queen that bore thee, oftener upon her knees than on her feet, died every day she lived. Fare thee well. These evils that were preached upon thyself have banished me from Scotland. Oh, my breast of hope and peace.
Macbeth, this noble passion, child of integrity, hath from my soul wiped black scruples and reconciled my thoughts to thy good truth and honor. Devilish Macbeth, by many of these trains, hath sought to win me to his power, and modest wisdom plucks me from o'er credulous taste. But God above, deal between thee and me, and even now I put myself to thy direction. Hear, unspeak mine own detractions, and abjure the taints and blames I laid on myself as strangers to my nature. I am yet unknown to woman, never was forsworn, scarcely have coveted what was mine own, and no time broke my faith. I would not betray the devil to his fellow, and delight no less in truth than life. My first false speaking is this on myself, that I am truly is thine, and my poor country's to command. Whither indeed, before thy here approach, old Seward with 10,000 warlike men already at a point was setting forth. Now wheel together, and the chance of goodness be like a warranted quarrel. Why are you silent?
Such welcome and unwelcome things at once. It's hard to reconcile.
Well, more none. Goes the king, I'm afraid.
Aye, sir. There are crew of wretched souls at stake his cure. Their malady convinces the greatest say of art. But at his touch, such sanctity hath heaven given his hand. They presently amend.
Well, thank you, doctor.
What's the disease he means?
It is called the evil. The most miraculous piece of work in this good king, which often since my here remain in England I have seen him do. How he solicits heaven himself best knows, but strangely visited people, all swollen and ulcerous, pitiful to the eye, the mere despair of surgery, he cures. Hanging a golden stamp about their necks, put on with holy prayers, and 'tis spoke to the succeeding royalty, he leaves this healing benediction. With this strange virtue, he hath the heavenly gift of prophecy, and sundry blessings hang about his throne that speak him full of grace.
See who comes here.
My countryman, but yet I know him not.
My ever gentle cousin, welcome hither.
I know him now, good God, betimes. Remove the means that make us strangers.
Sir, amen.
Then Scotland where it is.
Less. Poor country, most afraid to know itself. It cannot be called our mother, but our grave, where nothing but who knows nothing is once seen to smile. With sighs and groans and shrieks that rend the air are made not marked. Where violent sorrow seems a modern ecstasy. Dead men's now is there, scarce asked for who, and good men's lives expire before the flowers in their caps dying or ere they sicken.
Relation to nights and not too true.
What's the newest grief?
Would have an hour's age to assist the speaker. Each minute teems a new one.
How does my wife?
Why, well.
And all my children?
Well, too.
The tyrant has not battered at their peace?
No. They were well at peace when I did leave them.
Be not a miser of your speech. How goes it?
When I came hither to transport the tidings, which I heavily borne, there ran a rumor of many worthy fellows that were out, which was to my belief witnessed the rather, for that I saw the tyrant's power put. Now is the time of help. Your eye in Scotland would create suitors, make our women fight to doff their dire distresses.
Be it their comfort. We are coming thither. Gracious England hath lent us seaward with 10,000 men. An older and a better soldier none in Christendom gives out.
Would I could answer this comfort with the like. I have birds that would be held out in the desert ere where hearing should not latch them.
What concern they? The general cause, or is it a free grief due to some single breast?
No mind dishonest, but in it shares some harm. Though the main part pertains to you alone.
If it be mine,
Keep it not from me. Quickly let me have it.
Let not your ear despise my tongue forever. It shall possess it with the heaviest sounds that ever yet it heard.
Guess of it.
The castle is surprised. My wife and babe savagely slaughtered. And to relate the manner, we're on the quarry of these murders dear to add the death of you.
Merciful heaven. What man? Ne'er pull your hat upon your brow. Give sorrow words. The grief that does not speak whispers to the o'erfraught heart and bids it break.
My children, too?
Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
I must be from thence. My wife killed, too.
I've said,
Be comforted. Let's make us medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children. All my pretty ones? Did you say all? Oh, help my all. What, all my pretty chickens and their dam in one fell swoop?
Dispute it like a man.
I shall do so. But I must also feel it as a man. I cannot but remember such things were that were most precious to me. And did heaven look on and would not take their part? How sinful Macbeth they were all stood for thee. Not that I am. Not for their own demerits, but for mine, to slaughter on their souls. God rest them now.
Be this the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger, blunt not the heart, enrage it.
Oh, I could play the woman with mine eyes and grab it with my tongue. But gentle heavens, cut short all intermission, front to front. Bring thou this fiend of Scotland and myself within my sword's light setup. If he escape, heaven forgive him too.
This too goes manly. Come, go we to the king. Our power is ready, our lack is nothing but our leave. Macbeth is ripe for shaking, and the powers above put on their instruments. Receive what cheer you may. The night is long that never finds the day.
I had 2 nights watching you and received no truth in your report. When was it she last walked?
Since His Majesty winged the field, I've oft seen her rise from her bed, throw her nightgown about her, unlock her closet, draw forth paper, write upon it, read it, fold it, seal it, and again return to her bed, all the while in a most fast sleep.
A great perturbation in nature, for one to receive at once both the benefit of sleep and do the effects of watching. In this slumbery agitation, besides her walking and other actual performances, what, at any time, have you heard her say?
That's what you wrote out report after her.
You nay to me, and 'tis most that you should.
Never to you nor to anyone whom no witness to confirm my speech. Lo you, here she comes. These her very guise, I have my life fast asleep. Observe her, stand close.
How came she by that light?
Why, it stood by her. She is light by her continually, 'tis her command.
You see, her eyes are open.
Aye, but their sense are shut.
What is it she does now? Look how she rubs her hands.
It is an accustomed action of hers to seem thus washing her hands. I've known her to continue in it a quarter of an hour.
Yet here's a spot.
Hark, she speaks. I will set down what comes from her, satisfy my remembrance the more strongly.
Oh, damn the spot. Out, I say! 1, 2. Why then, it's time to do it. Hell is murk. Fire, my lord, fire, soldier, appear. What means these ears and noses when none can call our power to account? It would have thought the old man had so much blood in him.
Do you mark that?
The Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? What, will his hands ne'er be clean? No more of that, my lord, no more of that. You mar all with this starting.
Go to. You have known what you should not.
She spoke what she should not, I am sure of that. Heaven knows what she has known.
There's the smell of the blood still. All the perfumes in Arabia will not sweeten this little hand.
What a sigh is there. The heart is sorely charged.
I would not have such a heart in my bosom for the dignity of the whole body.
Well, well, well.
Pray God it be, sir.
This disease is beyond my practice. Yet I have known those who have walked in their sleep who have died, holily, in their beds.
Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo's burned. He cannot come home unscraped. Even so, to bed. There's a knocking at the gate. Come, 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 come. Give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. Bed. Bed.
Will she go now to bed?
Directly.
Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds to their death pillows will discharge their secrets. More need to the divine than the physician. God forgive us all. Look after her, remove from her the means of all annoyance, and still keep eyes upon her. So, good night. My mind she has mated, and amazed my sight. I think, but dare not speak.
Good night, good doctor.
The English power is near, led on by Malcolm, his uncle Seward, and the good Macbeth. Revenge is burning them. Their causes would, to the pleading and the grim alarm, excite the mortified man.
Near Burnham Wood shall we meet them. That way they are coming.
Who knows Donalbain be with his brother?
For certain, sir. He is not. I have a list of all the gentry. There is Seward, and many unrough youths that even now protest their first of manhood.
What does the tyrant?
Great Dunsinane he strongly fortifies. Some say he is mad. Others that do lesser hate him call it valiant fury. But for certain, he cannot buckle his distempered cause within the belt of rule.
Now does he feel his secret murder sticking on his hands. Now does he feel his title hang loose upon him, like a giant's robe upon a dwarvish thief.
Who then shall blame his pestered senses to recoil and start, in all that is within him to condemn itself for being there?
Well, march we on, to give obedience where 'tis truly owed. Meet we the medicine of the sickly weal, and with him pour we in our country's purge, each drop of us.
Or so much as it needs to dew the sovereign flower and drown the weeds. Make we our march towards Burnham.
Bring me no more reports. Let them fly all. If Burnham would remove the Dunsinane, I cannot take the fear. What's the boy Malcolm? Was he not of woman born? The spirits that know all mortal consequences have pronounced me thus. Fear not, Macbeth, for no man that's born of woman shall e'er have power upon thee. Then fly, false thanes, and mingle with the English epicules. The mind I sway by and the heart I bear shall never sag with doubt nor shake with fear. The devil damn thee black, thou green-faced moon. Or what's thou that goose look? There's 10,000 geese, villain. Soldiers say, go prick thy face and overread thy fear, thou lily-livered boy. What soldiers catch? Death of thy soul, those linen cheeks of thine are counselors to fear. What soldiers, waiters? The English force to please you. Take thy face hence. See in! I am sick at heart when I behold. See in, I say! This coach will cheer me ever or deceit me now. My way of life is fallen into the sear, the yellow leaf, and that which should accompany old age as honor, love,
Obedience, troops of friends I must not look to have, but in their stead, curses, not loud but deep, mouth honor, breath which the poor heart would fain deny and dare not. See in! What news more?
What's your gracious pleasure?
What news more?
All is confirmed, my lord, which was reported.
I'll fight, till from my bones my flesh be hacked. Give me mine armor.
'Tis not needed yet.
I'll put it on. Send out more horses, scour the country round, hang those that talk of fear. Give me mine armor. How does your patient, doctor?
Not so sick, my lord, as she is troubled by sick coming fancies that keep her from her rest.
Cure her of that. Canst thou not minister to a mind diseased, pluck from the memory a rooted sorrow, raise out the written troubles of the brain, and with some sweet, oblivious antidote cleanse the stuffed bosom of that perilous stuff which weighs upon the heart?
Therein the patient must minister to himself.
Throw physic for the dogs on none of it! Come, give me my staff, put on mine armor. See, send out. Doctor, the things fly from me. Come, sir, dispatch. If thou put, doctor, pass the waters of my land, find her disease, and purge it to a sound and pristine health, I would applaud thee to the very echo that should applaud again. Pull it off, I say. What rhubarb, senna, or what purgative drug would scour these English heads? Hearest you of them?
Aye, my good lord, your royal preparation makes us hear something.
Bring it after me. I will not be afraid of death and bane. To Burnham Forest come to Dunsinane.
Were I from Dunsinane away and clear, profit again should hardly draw me here.
Shall be safe. We got it nothing.
What good is this for us?
The Lord of Burnham.
Let every soldier hew him down a bough and bear it before him. Thereby shall we shadow the numbers of our host, and make discovery ere in report of us.
As you've done.
We learn now if the confident tyrant keeps still in Dunsinane, and will endure our setting down before it.
'Tis his main hope, for where there is advantage to be taken, both more and less hath given him the revolt, and none serve him but constrained things whose hearts are absent to him.
And our just censures attend the true event, and put we on industrious soldiership.
The time approaches that will with due decision make us know what we shall say we have, what we owe. Thoughts speculative, their unsure hopes relate, yet certain issue strokes must arbitrate, towards which advance the war. On!
Aye! Wall, the cry is still they come. Our castle's strength will laugh a siege to scorn. Here let them lie, till famine and the ague cling them. Were they not forced with those that should be ours, we might have met them dareful, beard to beard, and beat them backward home. What was that noise?
It is the cry of woman, my good lord.
I have almost forgot the taste of fears. The time has been, my senses would have cooled to hear a night shriek, and my fell of hair without a dismal treatise rouse and stir as life were in it. I have supped full with horrors. Direness, familiar to my slaughterous thoughts, cannot once start me. Wherefore was that cry?
The queen, my lord, is dead.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this
from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle! Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Thou comest to use thy tongue, thy story quickly.
Gracious, my lord, should report that which I say I saw, but know not how to do it.
Well, say, sir.
And then I stand my watch upon the hill. I looked toward Burnham, and on me thought the wood began to move.
Liar and slave!
Let me endure your wrath if it be so. Within the 3 mile way you see it coming. I say a moving grove.
If thou speakest false, upon the next 3 shalt thou hang alive, till famine cleave thee. If thy speech be sealed, I care not if thou dost for me as much. I pull in resolution, and begin to doubt the equivocation of the fiend that lies like truth. Fear not, Macbeth, till Burnham Wood do come to Dunsinane, and now a wood comes toward Dunsinane. Arm, and out! If this which he avouches does appear, there is no flying hence nor tarrying here. I came to be weary of the sun, and wish the estate of the world were now undone. Ring the alarum bells! Blow winds! Come rack! At least we'll die with harness on our back! Now, your leafy screens throw down and show like those you are. You, uncle, shall with our cousin, your right noble son, lead our first battle. Macbeth and we shall take upon what else remains to do, according to our order.
Pray you well. Do we but find the tyrant's power tonight? Lest be beaten if we cannot fight.
Let all our trumpets speak. Give them all breath. Those clamorous harbingers of blood and death!
Aye!
They have tied me to a stake. I cannot fly the fair life, I must fight the course. What's he that was not born of woman? Such a one am I to fear, or none.
What is thy name?
Thou would be afraid to hear it.
No, the little cults less of a haughty name than any is in hell.
My name's Macbeth.
The devil himself could not pronounce a title more hateful to mine ear.
No, nor more fearful.
Thou liest, born tyrant! With thy sort of crude light thou speakst.
Thou wast born of woman. But swords I smile at, weapons laugh to scorn, brandished by a man that's of woman born.
That was anointed. Tyrant, show thy face! Thou be slain, and with no stroke of mine. My wife's and children's ghosts will haunt me still. I cannot strike it. Wretched current whose arms were hired to bear their staves. Either thou, Macbeth, or else my sword, with an unbattered edge I sheath again, undeeded. There thou shouldst be. By this great clatter, one of greatest note seems bruited. Let me find him, fortune, and more I beg not.
This way, my lord, the castle's gently rendered. The tyrant's people on both sides do fight. The noble fames do bravely in the war. The day almost professes itself yours, and little is to do.
We have never foes that strike beside us.
Enter, sir, the castle.
return.
Of all men else, I have avoided thee. But get thee back. My soul is too much charged with blood of thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword. Thou bloody villain, and terms can give thee out!
To one of woman born.
Despair thy charms, and let the angel whom thou still hast served tell thee. Macbeth was from his mother's womb untimely ripped.
Accursed be that tongue that tells me so, for it hath cowed my better part of man. And be these juggling fiends no more believed, that palter with us in a double sense, that keep the word of promise to our ears and break it to our hopes. I'll not fight with thee.
Heaven yield thee, coward! Who lives to be the show and gaze of the time. We'll have thee as our rarer monsters are, painted upon a pole, and underwrit, here may you see the tyrant.
I will not yield. To kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet and be baited with the rabble's curse. Though Burnham would be come to Dunsinane, and thou oppose being of no woman born, yet I will try to last. Before my body I throw my warlike shield. Lay on, Macduff, and damned be him that first cries, hold, enough!
I see so great a day as this is chiefly bought.
Macduff is missing, and your noble son.
Son, my lord, who was told to start. He only lived but till he was a man. No sooner had his prowess confirmed in the untreating station where he fought. Like a man, he died.
Then he is dead?
Aye, and brought off fear. While the sorrow must not be measured by his worth, for then it hath no end.
Had he hurts before?
Aye, on the front.
Why then, God soldier be he. Had I as many sun-side hairs, I could not wish so a fairer death. And so his knell is knolled.
He's worth more sorrow, and that I'll spend for him.
He's worth no more. They say he parted well and paid his score, and so God be with him. Here comes your comfort.
Hail, King, for so thou art. Behold, where stands the usurper's cursed hand. The time is free. I see thee compassed with thy kingdom's pearl, who speak my salutations in their minds, whose voices I desire aloud with mine. Hail, King of Scotland.
Hail, King of Scotland!
We shall not spend a large expense of time before we reckon with your several loves and make us even with you. My thanes and kinsmen, henceforth be earls, the first that ever Scotland in such an honour named. What's more to do, which would be planted newly with the time, as calling home our exiled friends abroad that fled the snares of watchful tyranny, producing forth the cruel ministries of this dead butcher and his fiend-like queen, who, as 'tis thought, by self and violent hands took off her life. This
and what needful else that calls upon us, by the grace of grace we will perform in measure, time, and place. So thanks to all at once and to each one who we invite to see us crowned at